Hi, thank you for watching Show Me Wilson again. I am going to talk about prostitution. I know there's a lot of people wondering how can this be awful, but as you can kind of get a feel of how the human sponge theory works, you can see how it could be detrimental. First of all, when a person pays for a quick fix, the person that's receiving the money is now wanting quick fixes. And it may not be sexual because they're getting that already, but it might be quick fixes as far as a relationship not lasting, a quick high as far as like drugs, alcohol, any kind of high that they can get off on. Um, they are unwanted. They're not spoken of very highly. The only thing that people want from them is sex. So their value becomes lessened. So all they're wanted for is intimate and nothing else. They're not wanted for being a caring mom or house cleaner or any other job. They really struggle to keep jobs other than sexual jobs. They are spoken lowly of. They are thought of the public by being trash, and therefore most live in lowly and trashy places. There are your few prostitutes who are high quality. I'm unsure. I've just seen movies. Whether they're true or not, I would not be able to tell you. But they're also thought of as being dirty, and so therefore that's where you get a lot of your STDs because it kind of goes with the word dirty. STDs. What else could be considered dirty? It's not that they're not clean. Maybe they are, but anyhow, they just have a bad reputation. So most who seek a prostitute are unhappy in their relationship and in their marriage, and that makes it hard for the prostitute to find happiness. She's just there, or he's just there to fix a person's needs quickly, and therefore they have nothing lasting, no families, no marriages. People who pay a prostitute find that they always want sex. Okay, the reason why the person who is buying the sex, they become a sex addict because the prostitute is having sex with lots of people, not just one. She's being introduced to many people. Okay, so now this person who has sex with a prostitute is going to have a falling out marriage because his wife, maybe who gave him sex, is unable to keep up with the demands of that individual. So it really damages marriages in that way. If you're trying to keep a marriage, like you're going to say, Shandy, you're contradicting yourself. But the difference is you're putting money into it. When you put money into it, you're now labeling that person as they're only good for sex. When you pay someone for a job to clean your house, you're paying them to clean your house. You're not paying them to be a mother of your child or all these other things. So we're given that energy of they're only worth sex, nothing else. I'm unsure who started the drugs. I'm assuming it would be the person paying for the prostitution. It costs money to buy drugs, and people realized the drugs were valuable, so they started charging for them. I find it hard to believe that a prostitute brought drugs to the wealthy person, but maybe, they kind of go hand in hand. But either way, the rich is paying for the prostitution can afford drugs. But also it could be that the prostitution is on the streets all the time, And so they can get the drugs easily, and all they have to do is just have sex, and they can have drugs. So, but either way, having sex with a prostitute or selling yourself for money is, I gotta fly, it's going to cause a drug addiction for those who have used drugs. The other things that happen with having intercourse or relationships with a person who is a prostitute, you risk having authorities inspect your business and your dealings outside of your personal affairs. I mean, think about it. A prostitute is always being checked out. They're always trying to catch prostitutes. So guess what's going to happen to the business person who's having sex with a prostitute? They're always going to have, they're bringing attention of the authorities to them. Okay, it's just part of the DNA, it's part of the cellular memory of that. So who gave the risk to who first? Did the wealthy give the risk to the prostitution because they started hanging out with prostitutes, or did the prostitute give the risk to the wealthy person? Anyhow, like I said, we don't know who passes who gets it first and how it gets. Is it created by the thought first? Is it created by the action first? Also, this also creates a risk by being involved with murders, crimes, or gambling with lives, losing families, losing your self-worth, your identity, not losing your social security number per se, but losing your value of what kind of person you are. It destroys lives. Also, one thing, if you're a business person and you're having sex with a prostitute, you are treating that person as though they're just a fix. Okay, thank you, ma'am, wham, bam. But now you're also taking that into your work atmosphere. So now your employees are just employees. You could care less about their individual survival, their lives, their families, because they're just an employee and they're just making you money. That's how a prostitute looks at the men that she has sex with, or a man who has sex with women. But now the man is just a man to a prostitute. It's just a paycheck. So you can see why a business person is going to treat his employees with less respect. And that's kind of sad because we're all human beings, and to be able to work for a company, you'd like a person to be able to recognize when you're sick or when you have children who need their parent at home, and you become a person instead of a number. So for a prostitute, a man is just a number. It's just a paycheck. And she might do a good job, she might do a bad job, but either way you get your fix. The other thing with prostitutes is the STDs. Until you've learned how to avoid getting STDs or to cure STDs, I highly recommend that you stay away from prostitutes. Not only is it wrong and you get a felony slapped on your name tag, but you also can risk your family's lives because of your actions. The other thing that happens with a prostitute is they become numb to emotions. They have so many different sexual partners that their body doesn't know how to read all the different energies and all the different memories that are coming to the body because it's coming all at one time. I mean, could you imagine having sex with 400 people in a couple months? I mean, I don't know how many people they have intercourse with, but if you could imagine having all those memories now just downloaded into your body immediately, you could see how it could be overwhelming. Prostitutes will commit suicide, use drugs to forget about all these emotions that are going through them, because all these people have thoughts, whether they're thoughts of murder, or thoughts of rape, thoughts of unhappy in a marriage, thoughts of I can't have children, thoughts of sexual diseases. I'm thinking about bad things. Obviously there's good things, but because a person already has low self-esteem to become a prostitute, they're not going to be thinking about the good things, okay? So they become numb to people, to emotions. They become numb to their own children. And this creates anger, issues inside them, and they become unattached. Now imagine all these feelings coming to you who has sex with the prostitute. And maybe they're getting some of those feelings from you in the get-go, but normally most of your people who can afford a prostitute would be more your bubbly, uptight personality individuals. The other thing is prostitutes are always thinking of ways to escape their prison, their inability to provide for their families without having to sell their body. They want to escape. So now as a business person, what are you trying to escape from? You're trying to escape from a controlling spouse, escape from people not respecting you at work or talking negative about you, because now you don't care about your employees, so now they talk bad about you. You're like, gosh, here comes the boss again, and what a jerk, you know. Alright, so other things that are coming from prostitution is, if you are a prostitute or you're thinking about becoming a prostitute yourself, I highly suggest that you avoid it. I know times are tough and jobs are scarce right now in a lot of cities. Just come to South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota. I'm sure you'll find a job instantly. But once you are thinking about it, I really want you to contemplate if that's the avenue you want to go to. Because once you become a prostitute, you will destroy your family, your life. You might even think of suicide or of depression. You will become dependent on drugs. Unless you know the people you're having sex with have never touched drugs, that will be something that you will